Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Portland, Oregon, where a Custom Border Patrol agent shot at 2 people during a traffic stop. NBC's Dana Griffin has more from Portland, Oregon.
The Department of Homeland Security releasing new images of the 2 people shot and injured by that federal agent, identifying the driver as Luis Moncada, the passenger Yorlinis Zambrano Contreras. Officials say that they are Venezuelan gang associates and that officials were trying to do a vehicle stop. That's when that altercation turned violent. They say the driver tried to run an officer over, the federal agent, and that's when that agent took a self-defense posture and fired several shots. The 2 people that were injured then drove to an apartment complex about 3 miles away. The guy called 911. They were taken to the hospital. It's unknown right now their conditions, but local and state officials are calling for transparency, even as the FBI now takes over as lead of this investigation. We know that several protests are happening today, including at this ICE facility, which has been a flashpoint for months regarding the Trump administration's efforts to try to deploy more National Guard troops here to the city, which was blocked by a judge. Officials telling people if they are going to protest to remain calm and peaceful. Back to you.
Thank you, Dana, for that report. We now want to turn our attention to another story we brought to you earlier today about Craven County Sheriff's Office arresting some, but not all, of the sex offenders that you are seeing for compliance checks. Now, deputies say that Can Diep, John Fisher, William Strode Jr., and Kevin Brinston were arrested for sex offender compliance violations. Now, 48-year-old Eric Dixon and 49-year-old Shelton McCotter are wanted by deputies for failing to report a new address. Dixon's last reported address was on Clark's Road. Now, McCotter's last known address was on Highway 118. Now, of course, Diep is facing 7 counts of failure to register as a sex offender. Fisher and Strode were charged with failing to report an address change. Brinson was charged with failure to register as a sex offender, and McCotter has an active warrant against him for interfering with an electronic monitoring device, according to deputies. Now, deputies ask that you contact the Craven County Sheriff's Office if you know the location of one of the wanted sex offenders. That is Dixon and McCotter. You can reach out to the Craven County Sheriff's Office at 252-636-6620. You can find that number there at the bottom of your screen. And now for a look at your weather forecast. Lots of clouds over the east right now, but temperatures not really reflecting the lack of sunshine that we're seeing thanks to a strong south to southwesterly breeze. The winds today have boosted air temperatures all the way into the mid-70s, and it's certainly feeling like spring is right around the corner. Just look at the calendar. That's not true. It is a ways away. We've got almost a full, well, over a full 2 months to go before we get to astronomical spring. Now, if you're asking meteorological spring, we're a little bit less than 2 months. But regardless, we're still a long ways away from getting anywhere close to spring weather, even though it very much feels like we do have spring weather. Technically, I guess you could argue this certainly is reminiscent of spring weather. Current air temperatures right now generally in the low to mid 70s throughout most of eastern North Carolina. It does look like we're a little bit cooler in Oriental, along with Manio. The rest of eastern North Carolina reporting air temperatures at 70 degrees or warmer, which are significantly higher than what we had yesterday at this time by about 10 degrees. Some areas even up to 15 degrees warmer. Elizabeth City currently 16 degrees warmer. And this is why, of course, the winds out of the south-southwest blowing in at about 7 to 15 miles an hour, doing a fantastic job of pushing the heat and some humidity back over eastern North Carolina. And because those winds are going to be carrying through tonight into tomorrow, we're going to be staying hot. Well, considering the time of year, as we kick off the weekend. Now, Sunday is going to be a flip of that. We're going to start out warm on Sunday, but finish relatively cool compared to our start temp. But rain showers again are really dominating the forecast story over the weekend. We've had a few isolated spot showers along the coast so far today. Certainly not a lot there, but we only gave it about a 10% chance of rain today. Most of those drops realized along the coast. For tomorrow, we will start out with very isolated and scattered showers early on in the day. Once we get into the evening hours, we'll start to see a more organized front try to approach eastern North Carolina. It's that front that will be bringing the eventual widespread rain to the east, but we're really not anticipating that front to finally push over eastern North Carolina until we get into the very early hours of your Sunday morning. Some of those raindrops will still be present for those of you watching on the eastern side of Highway 17 early Sunday morning, especially if you are an early riser. Now, if you decide to hit the snooze button a few times on the alarm clock or maybe turn it off altogether, well, then you're probably going to be, you might miss some of the rain showers on Sunday. But of course, Saturday's dreary conditions probably won't have you missing them too much. Beyond, of course, just the rain showers over the weekend, we look towards the high pressure system further back towards the west. That's going to be bringing in a lot of cold air. Notice how the moisture behind the cold front you're seeing across really Michigan, upstate New York, but even as far south as Kentucky, Tennessee, and West Virginia, that moisture coming down as snow. Now, I'm not calling for snow right now, but it does look like we will have air that is cold enough to support snow moving into eastern North Carolina as we head through your Sunday night into Monday. Let's take a look at your full 8-day forecast and note that, again, those overnight lows are important to keep an eye on. For tonight, overnight lows dipping into the upper 50s. Not too bad. In fact, that's our seasonal average high for this time of year, and we've got it as our low temperature right now. That should give you an idea of just how warm we are currently. But once we get done with Saturday, we will still hang on to some of that heat overnight until that cold front finally pushes its way all the way through. Expected to happen Sunday morning. And then the cold air rolls in, and that's going to keep us from getting really a whole lot warmer from Sunday morning's lows, 56 degrees, up to Sunday morning's high, a flat 60 degrees. So looking at 4 degrees of warming for Sunday, and then we really cool down. 27 degrees Monday morning, 28 degrees Tuesday morning. Yeah, it comes with lots of sunshine, but the breeze that will still be present across parts of eastern North Carolina will have us wishing our coats were a little bit thicker. It is going to be cold out there coming up for Monday and even Tuesday morning. Now through next week, we've got another cold front that's going to be rolling in. May try to give us a few flakes at times, possibly Thursday night into Friday. Right now, it doesn't look like we're looking at anything that could guarantee some flakes on the ground, but it does look like we could potentially see some flakes at least fall from the sky. Should be fun, should be interesting. We'll see how it all plays out over the next 8 days, though still, again, too far out to give you guys a full yes or no. Are we seeing flakes or aren't we? It depends on how much moisture there is as that cold air settles over eastern North Carolina. Right now, what I'm telling you, it's a possibility, and we are going to continue to monitor it over the next few days. Keep your eyes on it. Again, I don't think we're going to be seeing any school closures, but this time of year, you never really know. But we'll be back coming up with more news and weather at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic Friday, and if I don't see you at 4, I hope you have a fantastic weekend.